Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look at Bitcoin and just kind of get a quick perspective on what's going on, of course. Big picture, best practice, all that good stuff. And if you're new to the channel, just know I'm not a financial advisor, but I really do love teaching people how to trade. And I really hope that you can learn something here today, of course. If you do, comment below, let me know if you want to become a better trader. CryptoCache.tech is a website. I actually have a trading community, academy, and signal group. Really amazing experience there. Thank you again so much to my current community members. I truly do appreciate and love and respect each one of you. So thanks again for that. All right, so take a look here at Bitcoin. Big picture, what's going on, right? I mean, I think we already kind of understand the big picture. It's on the downtrend. How much lower will it go? We're going to try to address that, but also understand too that the price where it's at presently, there's a lot of accumulation in the recent past here at this level. Okay, so if we take a look at just say the volume profile, we'll go ahead and zoom out. This is roughly like what? This is about 5 months worth of trading data as a rough estimate. And we can kind of see that there's a strong amount of volume accumulation right at the current price point, a bit of a gap between 40 and 41,000. Then of course, a lot more volume between 38 and 39. So heaven forbid we lose a support channel here. We could see a gap down, so to speak. Well, not an actual gap because crypto doesn't work that way, but generally speaking, 40,000 should be the absolute bottom in this trajectory, this progression downwards. And once again, what that'll do is that'll kind of reaffirm the fact that we have this ascending type of pattern that would likely hold. So the price does come down to just say 40,000-ish, get a little candle wick down there, then we could very well see the price continue back upwards based on this overall trend line progressing higher. Okay, so again, we're still making higher lows, if you think about it that way, on the one-day charts in the big picture. Okay, again, that's kind of essentially what we're looking at there. So not terrible. Once again, I don't think we're in dire straits. That's just kind of a positive thing if you ask me. Another positive as well is that we're coming closer to the 50-day simple moving average on the one day as well. And that's just something that's important to acknowledge because that does notoriously work as a strong support level. We can see it was tested twice here and rejected both times in the recent past. Okay, so it's unwilling to kind of pass that point, which is pretty standard. Basically just telling us the last 50 days of trading, we essentially have an average price. The price should be an average about 42,000, and right now it's just a little bit higher. Okay, so generally speaking, that's kind of what we're looking at. So again, not bad shape at all. Taking a look actually at the RSI, we are under 50. This is something I was hoping we wouldn't have happen. But now that we're here, just note that 50 can work as a potential resistance. So if the price were to come back up, just say hypothetically, we could experience some turbulence right around 43 to 44,000. Okay. We saw that already happen where the price could not pass 44 and subsequently we lost 43. So generally speaking at this point, once again, not in terrible shape, but we are kind of accumulating volume, so to speak, or just kind of averaging the price out right at the support level of 42,200, which was a previous resistance, if you can see here, once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times before it broke to the upside on the 6th and 7th day. So that's essentially where we're at. So we got this decent amount of support here for now. The 50-day SMA, only problem is we're kind of on the wrong side of the tracks here. So to take a long position, so to speak, right now would be disadvantageous or not wise because Bitcoin hasn't truly found its bottom yet. And in order to identify that, we need more volume accumulation at a longer price point. And when I say longer price point, I'm just talking 1 or 2 days worth of trading at a specific price isn't basically a support level. You need multiple days in a row to get that. Okay, so again, we're going to need to see something happen, a little bit more volume sideways before the price comes up again. Again, we could see some increase on Monday perhaps, but this weekend I would expect the price to kind of mostly, for the most part, kind of just go straight sideways. I do not expect a tremendous amount of increase or decrease, at least until the Eastern market opens tomorrow evening, which is typically around Sunday, around 5 o'clock-ish, right in that range, 5 to 7. That's Pacific Standard Time, different for Eastern Standard. That being said, that's kind of where we're at here for Bitcoin on the 1 day. 4 hour, let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is essentially still disadvantageous. It's kind of respecting this downward trend line, so to speak, which I drew out on the 1 day chart, kind of just telling us that, hey, the price is going to continue down. Until it breaks this downward trend, we can expect it to continue to maintain that, just in the general sense of things. Now again, price is kind of consolidating here at 42.2. We could see some sideways action, just like we did here before our next leg down. And or we could just see it go sideways for a little bit longer and try to work its way back up. A couple of different scenarios, but until we find our bottom and the bottom is tested a couple of times, we're not going to really see that. So in other words, just say the price were to kind of come up here and then it gets dipstacked down again. That's when we could see an increase. Oftentimes you don't just see the price go straight up without a retest of a support level. So we're kind of waiting for that to happen. So again, kind of just a waiting game. I would just say continue dollar cost average because, years down the road, 42,000 is going to seem like a luxury that we're never going to see again. And I do think that it's still absolutely worthwhile in the big picture. So I just say continue to add your portfolio if possible. Keep this in mind as well. We are also digressing lower here as well, whereas the RSI continues to maintain itself right at 30. There's a point in which it should recover because that you can only hold something down for so long before it can turn back around. But generally speaking, Bitcoin is getting dragged through the mud right now, and it's definitely considered to be oversold. In turn, you typically see an overbought type of scenario as a reversal, but I would not, again, expect an immediate reversal. I would say that as long as the price doesn't come much lower than 30 on the RSI, we're going to see it continue to make lower lows. It's kind of the way that it's working right now. All right, so again, not terrible, but not great. I don't love that pattern so far. It really just doesn't show that we have a lot of strength, a lot of selling pressure, of course, right here at about 43,700. That was like a point of contention. Couldn't get anywhere past that. Then, of course, saw a nice little sell-off yesterday as well. So generally speaking, this is kind of par for the course, kind of standard behavior for any type of cryptocurrency, but more specifically Bitcoin. It does this a lot. And big picture, we're still okay. We're making higher lows on the monthly and the weekly. So in that sense, we're actually in pretty good shape. Take a look here. We can just quickly acknowledge the fact that we came down all the way down to a 9, and we've been consolidating sideways since. So you see a decent amount of 9s on the downtrend. Oftentimes they come down to a 9, consolidate, either recover or continue sideways. So right now we're just seeing that sideways continuation, and it does look like right now in this last hour, it is trying to test that support level 42.2. We will see if that holds. So not much to really extract there. Ichimoku cloud, we're still going to be well below it. And you can see we got rejected by the cloud here twice, and then the price continued lower. So once again, that's why the cloud is helpful in a sense of letting you know if you're on the right side of the tracks or not. In this downtrend, as you've seen here so far, it will not and has not passed any of these type of clouds. So, or just, the top or lower, there's basically two leads. There's a top and bottom lead. Both of them are essentially holding us resistances. Until the price breaks above, in other words, just say we see the price come up here, get rejected again, and then come up and break. That's the case in point where we want to consider taking an entry. Okay? That usually tells you that, hey, that we've lost that downward momentous trend. It's been able to average sideways long enough where we can actually see the price continue higher. Okay? So again, that is what we're going to be looking for. That would be, to me, a very beneficial sign of reversal. Because if we look back here in retrospect, I know it was kind of choppy, but as soon as we broke above the cloud, we pretty much stayed above the cloud majority of the time. There's a couple of sideways breaks, but generally speaking, that's a really good indication of a buy signal. We don't have that right now. In fact, it's telling us right now that if we have a short position open, we want to continue to leave it open at least for the next 6 hours until that lagging span intersects with the price action. So once again, if you're shorting, I would say, maintain your short, so to speak. Depends on the distance and how long you're looking to go. There's a great chance we'll probably at least see a candle wick down to 40,000, maybe even 41,500. And kind of just in that general sense of things, I would expect the price to, at the very best, go sideways from here. And at the very worst, I would say, another wick down. But we shouldn't see that today or tomorrow. I would say, late evening tomorrow or Monday is the case in point where we might see more consideration on the downside. So again, that being said, dollar cost average wherever possible. I would just say add to your position at each key level Fibonacci retracement, and essentially continue to add to your position, because I don't think we're going to be able to see this type of value in Bitcoin much longer over the next few years. 5 years from now, we're going to be kicking ourselves and wishing we had bought in at 40,000. That's just my speculation, okay? So again, just something to consider, some big picture thought processes there, but by no means are we in dire straits. I would just say that it hasn't found its bottom yet, and we just need to be mindful of that, okay? So approach that how you will. I would just say be cautious and careful, of course, but generally speaking, we're at this point right now where we're tentatively within our support channel. If we can continue to hold this for a few more days, then at that point we should expect the price to maybe continue to progress higher. But I wouldn't expect miracles anytime soon. All right. Anyways, I hope this was beneficial and you found benefit, of course. Comment below if you did, if you're not currently a community member. CryptoCache.tech is a site. Link in the description below, and I look forward to working with you and growing with you as well. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you in the next one.